This is exciting. There are hosts all over the country making tens of thousands of dollars per month on their houses, on their Airbnb listings. One listing, $10,000 or more per month. And it's happening all over the place. Now, some of these cities are making tons of money. Some of these places in the middle of nowhere are making tons of money. And I think the data will surprise you. So before we jump into the data, in the comments, let me know, where would you guess would be the highest revenuing Airbnb listings in the country? We're just doing the United States here. Where do you think the most expensive listings are going to be? Do you think they're going to be cities? Do you think they're going to be in the middle of nowhere? I want to hear your guesses. So let's jump into the data. Let me show you 12 listings all over the country, what they're doing and how they're making their money. You can actually learn a little bit about how to Airbnb from this little highlight reel. Let's jump in. Welcome back, Airbnb family. So a lot of times we're just looking at my properties, which is cool and educational, but really doesn't give you the full scope of the opportunity of Airbnb. What I want to show you are properties that have nothing to do with me, because I do apartments, not houses. And apartments make less money than houses, especially top-end revenue. So please like this video. It super helps. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Share this video with your friends. If they don't believe you that Airbnb can make a ton of money, this is proof in your pocket. And we're going to start in my backyard. I live in Dallas. This is a suburb called Plano, North Dallas. And this one house, and by the way, this is not going to be the top end of this list, by the way. This was the easiest place to start. This one house advertises that they have a heated pool. They go for $498 on average per night at 74% occupancy. So that's $425 a night with a $200 cleaning fee. And at 74% occupancy, we're talking about 22 days a month. So at 22 days a month, that is just over $10,000. Now, the reason why I think that this place does well is it is a 4-bedroom, and I say 4 bedrooms tend to do the best, but they advertise they have a heated pool, and their thumbnail photo is a pool. Obviously, they're going to get some bookings. Now, this isn't the only one that is doing well, but I will tell you that your pricing strategy will matter when you get bookings. So there were other ones that charge more per night, just had lower occupancy. So this one made more total money because they stayed full for more. Let's go next to Birmingham, Alabama. I mentioned this in a TikTok video. I'm like, people are making $10,000 a month even in Birmingham, Alabama. People were like, Cap, you're lying. Check this one out. So on the south side of Birmingham, Alabama, another suburb is Hoover, Alabama. This one goes for $625 a night at 62% occupancy. So that's 19 nights at $600 and $625. That is right on the money, $10,000. Now this one charges $575 per night with a $249 cleaning fee. So if you do the math here, you factor that cleaning fee into the nightly rate, they're getting 4-day, 5-day, 6-day long stays on average. And they do weekly discounts and monthly discounts, but their final numbers come out to that $625. This one does well because it's a 4-bedroom house. The thumbnail photo is charming. They're really focusing on the exterior of the house, and I really like what they're trying to push here. They advertise location, all sorts of other amenities in this listing. But what this essentially is just a straightforward, big, and beautiful house in Birmingham. And I have said that Midwestern cities, including places like Birmingham, which I don't think is technically the Midwest, but that whole area is really underserviced. So picking up properties where the rents are like sub $2,000, you can rent a house like this probably for $2,200 a month, and it can generate $10,000 in revenue, because Birmingham isn't an expensive market, right? So that's super powerful. I went to Raleigh, North Carolina, but something I've learned about Raleigh, North Carolina is it's not Raleigh that people are necessarily trying to stay in. There's also Durham, and the airport is actually slightly closer to Durham than it is downtown Raleigh. So I did some nosing around, and in that area, the best performing properties are actually on the Durham side. So Durham, North Carolina, I found a property that was actually only a 3-bedroom. Okay, so instead of a 4-bedroom, it's only 3-bedroom, and it charges $638 a night at 42% occupancy. This one is near Duke, and it's kind of interesting because I think they're actually charging more now than the back data says. Over the last 12 months, it says it's made $638 a night at 42% occupancy. Now, I will say that this listing could make more money if they did something called dynamic pricing, but this video is not meant to be a deep dive on pricing strategy. I have tons of videos on that. But when we drill into the listing, it shows that its average listed price is actually $750, and that it has a $275 cleaning fee, which means its average nightly rate should be somewhere like $800, $830. So what I think is going on is in the past 12 months, it was cheaper, and now within the last 30 days, they've actually upped their rates. So if they maintain their 40-something% occupancy at an $800-something per night average with their cleaning fee, they are cooking their way up to, actually, I think that actually puts them over $10,000 a month. And this is in Durham, North Carolina. Of course, Las Vegas, there's gonna be money in Las Vegas. People go and party. One of the things I've always said about Las Vegas is if you have a pool, you're cool. You're gonna make a ton of money. And this really proves it. I actually pulled 2 listings just to really try to give you a point. This first listing is a 7-bedroom, okay? They make these big houses in Vegas. This one makes more than $1,000 a night, $1,129 a night, and it's 54% occupied. That is about $16,000 per month. Now, when we drill in, it's $1,149 with a $375 cleaning fee. They give no weekly or no monthly discounts because they know that their travelers are all people just coming to stay for a few days or a week to party. This one does exactly what you expect it to do. They're pimping out their pool in their very first few photos. You show a pool, people want to book it. Pools are one of those competitive amenities that not everybody has. Pools, gyms, hot tubs, stuff like that. If you have them in your listings, you just get more SEO, you get more bookings. And this one advertises it's only 5 minutes away from the Strip, but that's a 7-bedroom. So for the sake of fairness, I went and found a smaller listing. This one is a 3-bedroom in Vegas. It advertises for $513 a night and is 73% occupied. That's 21 days a month roughly. At $513, that's still over $10,000 for a 3-bedroom. Now this one also shows a pool in the photo. Are we seeing a trend here? Houses and pools. This one also has a curious price change. When we drill down into the listing, we see that it's actually $750 a night with a $100 cleaning fee, which means they are upping their rates lately. We're seeing an uptick of travel almost everywhere right now. So now hosts are finally starting to respond with their pricing and charging more because there's more demand. So this house now at $750 a night could be making even $13,000 or $14,000 a month moving forward. Now let's take it somewhere more casual. Vegas is a little heavy-handed. Let's go home. I am from Wisconsin, a little town called Darien, Wisconsin, but I did live in Milwaukee for some short period of time. And I found a listing in Milwaukee that really does encompass what I think to be the opportunity in Milwaukee, but we're still talking about what people are making. The first thing I want to state before we even talk about this listing is when I searched Milwaukee, the search radius for Milwaukee was so broad because there's not many listings in Milwaukee. I was actually surprised at how few there were. This goes all the way down to Cudahy. Cudahy, guys, okay? For those of you who know, you know. Now this property advertises $400 a night at 64% occupancy, which is just like 19 days. So this is almost $8,000 just off of this one 3-bedroom property. And if they just did a little bit of dynamic pricing, again, they could get their like 8 or 10 more days booked and clear that extra $2,000 gap. We're seeing it again. People are upping their rates. This is now at $463 for the last 30 days, where it was under $400 for the last year. And the pricing fee is $150. So if they maintain 60%, 66%, and have 20 days a month booked at about $500 on average with the cleaning fee, they're now clearing $10,000 a month. What we're starting to see here, guys, is that there's an uptrend in travel. So people are raising their prices. The last 30 days, prices have gone up. Great for these guys. Milwaukee, of all places. Milwaukee is also one of those cheaper markets where it's easy to get rents. And the people are just so nice. If you started an Airbnb business in Milwaukee, you'd love the people. It's a little hipster, but otherwise everybody is super nice. And hipsters are nice too. That wasn't a stab at hipsters, guys. But for flavor, I pulled another Milwaukee listing. This one is a 6-bedroom. It's a Victorian house. Goes for over $800 a night, and it is 27% occupied. 27% is essentially 8 days. This thing is booked on the weekends. Now, this is another one of those examples where if they just took any weekday bookings at all, they would be over $10,000 a month. 8 days, $813. This is over $6,000 weekend only bookings. They've got 20 something days a month that they could make another $3,000 on this thing if they wanted to, but for some reason they've chosen not to. Their cleaning fee is $200 and their average nightly rate is $774, and so that actually looks like a slight price increase. Otherwise, what this is they're getting a 5-day stay and a 3-day stay. And they've actually got weekends that are unbooked. And if that's the case, this thing is really losing out on some top-end revenue. Staying in the Midwest, let's go a little bit south down to Omaha, Nebraska. This is another one of those Midwestern cities. Opportunity should be ripe. Again, there's not a ton of listings in Omaha, Nebraska, so I think this kind of city is ripe for the taking. I found right away a listing that charges over $800 a night and is over 30% occupied. 800 times 10, that's $8,000 with still about 20 days left that can get booked. For some reason, it didn't load its average price over the last 30 days, but it did load that it has a $250 cleaning fee. So the very first photo is just the front photo of the house. I'd choose a different photo, but hey, that's cool. Second photo is a shot of the pool. They aren't showing the shot of the hot tub right away, but they advertise hot tub in this. This is what's getting bookings, 5-bedroom house in Omaha, Nebraska. I pulled a second listing because this was kind of wild. This is a 1-bedroom apartment with 2 beds in it. Nothing special, but it charges over $300 a night, and it is 90% occupied. So an apartment that can sleep 4 people is making nearly $9,000 a month. They have $0 cleaning fee, just the nightly rate. That might be part of their game here. But that is impressive to make nearly $9,000 or $10,000 a month with a 1-bedroom apartment in Omaha, Nebraska. Here's another listing that I think you guys will enjoy. Let's take it to California. This is Arcata, or Arcata, whatever you want to say. This is West Coast, north of San Francisco, near the Redwoods. And what I found, as soon as I started searching in this area, what I found was an Airstream. A lunchbox on wheels is charging a little over $100 a night, and they're 94% occupied. So that means they're only missing about 2 days or 3 days a month go unbooked at over $100. So a lunchbox with a hammock is making nearly, or right on the money, $3,000 a month. It's $87 a night with a $35 cleaning fee. That's going to make me believe that their average length of stay is about 2 nights. And you can tell in the photos, again, this is nothing fancy. Somebody parked an Airstream and put a hammock on the outside, laid some bricks down. There's no rent. There might be lot rent. They might be paying $200 a month to park this Airstream there, something like that. That's huge profit. That's huge. But moving on, in Arcata, further, we found some houses. In the heart of Arcata, the listing even says itself, it's a Victorian house in the heart of Arcata. They're charging $605 at a 68% occupancy. That's over 20 days a month booked at over $600. That is $12,000 plus per month. This one again doesn't show the nightly rate factored in with cleaning fee, but we see that this has a $350 cleaning fee. That one is an 8-bedroom property, which of course is a little hard to get your hands on, so I pulled one other one that's only a 3-bedroom property in Arcata. It goes for $355 a night at 80% occupancy. So not quite $10,000 a month, but you're still up there considering you're in a town that no one would ever really think to go pick up Airbnbs in. By the way, Vacasa, one of the larger companies, is there in Arcata. I saw them when looking for these listings. I'm sure most of you were prepared for this. Miami is next on the list. Now, of course, we are expecting to see some heavy money out of Miami because it's one of the places that during COVID, that's where everybody was going to party and stuff. Florida's a rather COVID-friendly state, and the weather's been great through the winter, stuff like that. The first one I pulled is Condo, 2-bedroom high-rise, so this isn't one of the big houses that you would expect to see in this list, but it was just so powerful that I had to show you anyway. They're charging over $600 a night, and they're 49% occupied for a 2-bedroom condo in like Miami proper. So if you do the math, $700 a night, $110 cleaning fee, is what they're listing when we drill down, which means they are raising their rates just like all the other hosts. But at that price point, they're looking at about $10,000 a month for a 2-bedroom condo. Now, moving forward, I found some houses that were insane. Now, this one's called the Sextant, and I don't know exactly what that means, guys, but it's provocative. We like it. They charge $1,244 per night, and they are 98% occupied. That's like 1 day. They have 1 day that they're not booked on average at over $1,200 per night. It's $1,100 per night plus a $500 cleaning fee. So as you can imagine, people are staying about 5 or 6 days at a time, and this thing is staying super booked. This thing is doing $30,000 a month. This one house is doing $30,000 a month in Miami. Now, I want to let you know that you don't have to go to party places to get that big revenue. Let's take you to Harper's Ferry. Have you ever heard of Harper's Ferry? You probably have not, and I was not aware of Harper's Ferry until I was in Philadelphia. I caught COVID and couldn't take a plane back to Dallas. So after I was well enough to drive, I was driving from Philadelphia to Dallas and took my sweet time and ended up in Harper's Ferry on the way. And it is beautiful. It's the halfway point of the Appalachian Trail. A lot of people stop there, but it's a very small town. Population is probably under 10,000. Find that number for you. So I found a couple properties that were just insane. This one is a farmhouse. Nothing special, but I do like their design style. It's advertised at $914 a night at 65% occupancy. That's about 20 nights at $915. That is $18,000 a month. But their price has gone up like everybody else. Now this listing is charging $1,047 per night with a $300 cleaning fee. If they maintain those prices and maintain that occupancy, they're making over $20,000 a month on a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. That's impressive. There's also some cabins that are doing insane right now. This one, Cozy Cabin on a Lake, advertises at $422 a night at 95% occupancy. That's only 2 nights unbooked. So again, that's $10,000 a month on a cabin, and their price point actually is one of the few that have gone down. It's gone down to $300 per night with a $99 cleaning fee, which means this one, even at 100% occupancy, would only be making, say, $8,000, $9,000, $9,500 a month. but it is a 3-bedroom cabin in the middle of nowhere. The fact that it ever does $10,000 a month is damn impressive, don't you think? The data shows that opportunities across the country are ripe for Airbnb hosts. And now we focused on houses because honestly, houses perform better than apartments do. They make more margin, more profit per dollar invested. And the reason why is you're not really competing with hotels when you do houses. See, hotels have these suites that can sleep 2, 4, maybe 5 people, but they can't sleep 12, can they? So the question really is for you, where would you want to have some houses on Airbnb? Would you want to go somewhere easy and quiet like Birmingham, Alabama, Omaha, Nebraska, Harpers Ferry, or do you want to party with your guests in a place like Vegas or Miami? You could always choose the middle ground where you could be near a city like this, in Dallas, where there's nice people in a decently sized city like Milwaukee. You can do it almost anywhere. Now the question is where would be your favorite place to be an Airbnb host? Tell me what you think in the comments. Let's talk about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to learn how to Airbnb, and I'll see you on the other side.